Αναγόρευση του καθηγητή Stegmann σε επίτιμο διδάκτορα της Σχολής Μηχανικών Περιβάλλοντος. Ανάγνωση του ψηφίσματος της Σχολής από τον κοσμήτορα καθηγητή κύριο Μιχαήλ Λαζαρίδη. Conferment of Doctor Honoris Causa degree on Professor Stegmann. Professor Michalis Lazaridis, Dean of the School of Environmental Engineering, will now read the resolution of the General Assembly of the School for the conferral of the title of Doctor Honoris Causa.
Ελληνική Δημοκρατία, Πολυτεχνείων Κρήτης. Ψήφισμα της Σχολής Μηχανικών Περιβάλλοντος. Τύχη αγαθή, πριτανεύοντος εν το Πολυτεχνείο Κρήτης, καθηγητού Ευαγγέλου Διαμαντοπούλου, κοσμητεύοντας δε εν τη Σχολή Μηχανικών Περιβάλλοντος, καθηγητού Μιχαήλ Λαζαρίδη, έδοξε νομοθήμος στη Σχολή επειδή Προφέσορ Stegmann, φιλοσπούδο ζήλο και φιλερεύνο, άριστα περί της επιστήμης του μηχανικού περιβάλλοντος παιδευθέντος, πολλαπλασίας δε τους καρπούς αποδόντος η γράμμαση και διδαχή και μελετημάτων οξία κρίση. Τεχνίεν τη δε λόγο, θεωρίαν και πράξη συνάπτοντος, άτε δει το περί τη νόηση και ενόσπουδων φύση κατέχοντος, μελέτη δε πολύ εις άκρον τούτο προαγόντος, ώστε επί την κενότητη των περί διαχειρήσεως στερεών αποβλήτων ευρυμένων. Επενέσετε αυτόν και επίτιμον διδάκτορα της σχολής αναδείξε, και το παρόν εις μεμβράναν αναγράψε. Του δε της σχολής κοσμήτωρος το ψήφισμα εν τη αιθούση τη μεγάλη, αναγνώντος και τα στιμάς ανυπώντος επιδούνται αυτό η ανημέρα γέννητε καθεάν νενόμιζτε. Εγένετο εγχανής μηνός Αυγούστου 30, έτη δε 19ο και δυσχυλιοστό, ο της Σχολής Μηχανικών Περιβάλλοντος κοσμήτωρ καθηγητής Μιχαήλ Λαζαρίδης. Αναγόρευσης. Επειδή περί Σχολή Μηχανικών Περιβάλλοντος του εγχανής Πολυτεχνείου Κρήτης, τον Προφέσορ Stegmann, άξιον απέφυνε του επιτίμου διδακτορικού αξιώματος. Ο δε πρίτανης της σχολής γνώμη επινεύει. Διατάφτα εγώ, Μιχαήλ Λαζαρίδης καθηγητής, νυν δε και της Σχολής Μηχανικών Περιβάλλοντος κοσμήτωρ, χρώμενος στη δυνάμει ειν παρά το πανεπιστημιακό νόμον έχω, λαβών τον Προφέσορ Stegmann, επίτιμον διδάκτορα της Σχολής Μηχανικών Περιβάλλοντος, του εγχανής Πολυτεχνείου Κρήτης, δημοσία αναγορεύω, και πάσα στας προνομίας το πανεπιστημιακό τούτο αξιώματι παρεπομόνας απομένων. Εγένετο εγχανής μηνός Αυγούστου 30, έτη δε 19ο και δυσχυλιοστό, ο της Σχολής Μηχανικών Περιβάλλοντος κοσμήτωρ καθηγητής Μιχαήλ Λαζαρίδης. Congratulations.
Ανάγνωση του διδακτορικού διπλώματος από τον πρίτανη του Πολυτεχνείου Κρήτης, καθηγητή κ. Ευάγγελο Διαμαντόπουλο.
Ελληνική Δημοκρατία, Πολυτεχνείο Κρήτης. Πριτανεύοντος εν το εγχανής Πολυτεχνείο Κρήτης Ευαγγέλου Διαμαντοπούλου, καθηγητού της Σχολής Μηχανικών Περιβάλλοντος, κοσμητεύοντος δε εν τη Σχολή Μηχανικών Περιβάλλοντος Μιχαήλ Λαζαρίδη, καθηγητού της Σχολής Μηχανικών Περιβάλλοντος, τον Προφέσορ Stegmann, αποδόγματος ομοθήμου εις τους επιτίμους διδάκτορας του Πολυτεχνείου Κρήτης ενέκρινε. Εγένετο εγχανής μηνός Αυγούστου 30, έτη δε 19ο και δυσχυλιοστό. Ο του Πολυτεχνείου Κρήτης πρίτανης καθηγητής Ευάγγελος Διαμαντόπουλος, ο της Σχολής Μηχανικών Περιβάλλοντος κοσμήτωρ καθηγητής Μιχαήλ Λαζαρίδης.
Ακολουθεί η περιένδυση του τιμόμενου με την τίβαινο και το επιτιβαίνιο του Ιδρύματος και επίδοση των τίτλων. Professor Stegmann.
your documentation here. And a small present to remember this.
Αντιφώνηση του Επίτιμου Διδάκτορα της Σχολής Μηχανικών Περιβάλλοντος του Πολυτεχνείου Κρήτης, Professor Rainer Stegmann.
I don't want that on the screen.
Okay.
Okay. No, it's okay. Yeah. So, magnificence, distinguished colleagues, dear students, ladies and gentlemen, you can imagine that this is a very special day for me. It's a great honor to stay here, and it's a very special honor also to have you all around with me and celebrate this very special event. I know it is very, very difficult to get an honorary doctorate degree, and it is really the peak of your career if you can achieve that. So you can imagine that I'm very proud, but I'm also very humble. It is a very special also for me that I got this award from the Technical University of Crete, a university that I like very much, that I get known over the years, that I have good contacts with colleagues and with the students. And I must say you can be very proud of this university, and I'm very proud to become now a member of this university. And of course, I will be always available if you need any support or attendance or whatever. And again, I'm overwhelmed, and thank you very much again for this very special award. Thank you so much.
You may use these 3 hours, right? Okay.
So, yes, as you know, in university, you never get something, an award, for nothing. So you have to work for it. Now I want to give you my presentation as a part of this honorable ceremony. And I will talk about the great transformation. And I think it's especially very good that all the young students are here, all the past students, I must say, because this is actually something which is important for their future. Now, we live now in what we call the Anthropocene. That means humans influence, control, and shape Earth predominantly. In the past, it was the nature, but now it's the humans that change the world. And this brings a lot of challenges. We have a lot of air pollution. When I was in China, you know, difficult to breathe on some days. We have the desertification of land. We have contaminated rivers. We have melting ice, destruction of natural habitats, as here in Malaysia for the oil, for the palm oil. We have the plastic in the oceans, and we have very extreme weather events. And the reasons are, as you know, the CO2 emission, not only the CO2 but also other emissions, the exploitation of natural resources, world growth population. We expect to have in the year 2050 about 9 billion people. Abundant lifestyle in the industrialized countries, produce too much waste, use too much resources, insufficient waste management, that we have this pollution on the beaches, and, you know, as one example, recycling of electronic waste. We send our electronic waste to Africa, where people under very poor conditions have to recycle that. And one of the main reasons, well, the main reasons is, of course, the climate gas emissions. And you can see here the greenhouse gas effect, and many people don't believe, actually, still don't believe in that. It's just a reason is that you have these climate gases, they accumulate in the lower atmosphere, and then the radiation from the Earth cannot pass into the higher atmosphere. That means that the world becomes warmer. And you can here see that the temperature in our atmosphere increased in the last years dramatically. So there are very, very clear indications that our climate changed and has changed already significantly. And we have higher CO2 concentration, which also leads to the problem of pH decrease in the oceans, changing the Great Barrier Reef, and also animal life. We have global pollution. All the emissions that we have every day, that we had in the past, these emissions will stay somewhere. And there are always new emissions are added. These are some very impressive photos from an African photographer. And you can see that it is important, and you learned that the mass conservation law is actually happening. Mass can neither be created or destroyed. That means all the emissions that we had and that we will have, they will stay on Earth somewhere. All the lead in the past from the cars, all the emissions, chlorinated hydrocarbons, they stay somewhere. And we have to really keep that in mind. Now, in order to describe the situation, a group of distinguished scientists made these kind of planetary boundaries. These 9 planetary boundaries describe, and they describe our situation on Earth with these boundaries. And this is climate change, ocean acidification, ozone depletion, phosphorus and nitrogen cycles, freshwater land use change, biodiversity loss, chemical pollution. And you see the red ones, this is global P and N cycles, and the biodiversity loss, and you read that very often in the newspapers, that more and more different species are extinguished. They are already crossing the borders of these planetary boundaries. They are in the red color, and if they are in the green color, then we still have space to work in that, and we can use the resources. But if you're in the yellow, then you have to be careful. And if you're on the red, then you actually cross the borders. And this is with biodiversity loss. And the other thing is that we have to keep in mind that our resources that we use every day are limited. And this is Meadows already in 1972, he worked on that. And you see here this graph showing the amount of materials that are available for us in the future. So oil, for example, until 2050, then you have coal, we have a lot of coal, that's not the problem. Gas, we still are in good shape. But for example, if you look at the elements like zinc, silver, gold, they look, in this prediction, they will last until 2030. So this might not be correct, and these might not be that we have in 2030 no gold anymore. But it shows us the situation, it shows us the problem that our resources are limited and that we have to save our resources, use less resources, and substitute some of those resources with renewable resources. Now this is the curve that we have here that you can see. You don't have a pointer. Above you see that we have the no, I cannot show. Yes. Okay. You see here the curve for the resources. These are the resources, and you see the resources are limited and they go down with the time. You say they go down. We have also abundant lifestyle, that we have more production, more industrial production. We have population growth. And one day, you know, when there is too much people, too much consumption, and we have already consumed too many resources, then we will have a kind of, well, what they called here, collapse, yeah, kind of collapse. That means we don't have enough resources anymore to feed the people. The population will reduce naturally by themselves, and the pollution will go down because our industrial production will reduce. So we are in an area, and they propose here 2030. That must not be the case, but it shows us that we really have to do something. Now, I was in Nice. There is this beautiful painting from Marc Chagall, and when I saw at this, the second fall of paradise, I call that, because I think we leave the paradise again. First time, this was God throw us out of the paradise because we ate the apple that we shouldn't do. But this time, humans throw them out by themselves, by their self-doing, out of this paradise. So this beautiful picture with these wonderful colors is really worth seeing. Now, what are the questions? How can we keep the temperature below 2 degrees? How can we reduce environmental pollution? And how can we regenerate our environment? All tasks for the students and for the new past students, as I say that. Very important is that we also have to strive living in peace with nature. So only if we like something, we can preserve it. It's very important. Now, we need the great transformation. And the greatest challenge of the world society is to allow all people alive in dignity without destroying the planet. This is from Köhler, our former president. So the new task is for the future, for your future. We need a reduction of climate gases. We need a new ecological economy, not only continuous growth. We need ecological cities. We need education that people follow us. We need renewable energy, ecological agriculture, circular economy, digitalization. So there are a lot of really big challenges that wait for you. And in countries with high population growth, rates should decline by better education and financial support and health and care and social system, because always, mostly the poor countries, they have a lot of children and they need that also for their social life. Now, if we look at renewable energy, how is that? Can we actually transform our now energy from carbon energy to a renewable energy? Yes, we can. Now, on the right side, you can see this is Germany. We have already 20% wind energy. 8 solar biomass, and so on. So in total, we have already 40% of our energy is produced by renewable energy. So we can do that. It is possible. And you see here the big plants that are built for 580 million 580 megawatt plant in the desert in Morocco, or a big wind park with 20 gigawatt. Yeah, so these are huge plants that are in construction, and we can achieve that. We can do that. We need recycling, more recycling, but we have always to see that recycling is only one answer. The best answer is waste avoidance. And we need ecological economy. We need something that we can finance all this big transformation. And we can do that, for example, if we have a kind of global fund that we pay, let's say with a CO2 tax or with an emission tax, and the money goes into a global fund, and from that we pay for reducing our emissions. So there are possibilities, and also financial possibilities, how you can achieve that. Now the social aspects. You all heard about Greta from Sweden. It is amazing how much influence she had in Germany. Really amazing, this 16-year-old girl, and there is a lot of things now going on. So what we need is, and we learned from her, is environmental education, and this is part for our university life. And environmentally sound university as models. Universities have to go ahead. We need a studium generalis, that means environmental courses for all students, environmental courses for people that are mechanical engineers, that have law, and whatever, because everybody has to have the right background on that. We have different media for education that we could use, because the media are very important actually to transport our messages. We have print media, TV, we have courses, of course, and what is interesting, we can also have some new ideas. For example, at the last Crete conference, we had a photo competition, and you see here, this is one of the TOC students that got the award for the best environmental photo, and there are also many artists that work with waste and bring waste now in connection with the world. So, special, of course, the social media that you know much better than me have a big influence, and we have to work on that. And we did also at the university here this art exhibition during Crete 2018, also trying to show people what is the problem, what is doing. So we have an exciting future, and we need new jobs for the future, for all the new challenges that are waiting for us. And there are so many new ideas that for renewable energy, for eco-cities, and it is really exciting to work in that field. So we have to work that we have this sustainable growth, that we stay in this level here, and that we have enough resources still, and that our world gets a little bit more in balance, the pollution goes down, and we have to do that in order to preserve this beautiful planet. Thank you very much.
Professor Stegmann, thank you very, very much for your lovely speech, and thank you again for accepting this honorary title from our university. Λήξη τελετής αναγόρευσης.